Hey everyone, I'm Matthew Francis, and one of the best ways to enjoy all the best that summer has to offer is a great dish called gazpacho. Gazpacho comes from Andalusia, Spain, which is in southern Spain, and it's essentially like a chilled, cold tomato soup. But you also can have like melon gazpacho, watermelon gazpacho, cucumber gazpacho. There's tons of different stuff, but usually it has stuff like cucumber in there, herbs, and different types of vegetables or fruit. So when it comes to making tomato gazpacho, what you really want to do is have the sweetest, ripest, most flavorful tomatoes you can find. So you can see these tomatoes, they usually for gazpacho, they come like vine-ripened tomatoes. So when you see them at the grocery store or at the farmer's market where there's like the vine coming out, those are vine-ripened tomatoes. You want to go for those, but it will work with Roma tomatoes, beefsteak tomatoes. It's just more common to have the vine-ripened. And now I'm going to show you how to peel and seed the tomato in a process called tomato concasse. So come in closer here, and you're gonna go on to the other, so here's the core end, and why don't we start there? Take your knife and just kind of go around, and then you're gonna cut it off. Okay, looks great. And then on the other side, what you're gonna do is come in and you're going to cut an X. What this does is allows the water to kind of go inside and start releasing the skin from the flesh of the tomato. And the same thing with this side. The water will kind of seep in there. All right, looks good. And now we're gonna boil it in some water. So here is our pot of water, and we're gonna just gently place the tomato in. It doesn't have to be completely covered. And you'll see that it starts to stop boiling, but that's okay. You wanna go for 10 to 30 seconds. And then after about 30 seconds, we can take it out, and we're gonna go right into some ice water. This just cools the tomato down, and it allows the shocking of the change in temperature to allow the skin of the tomato to remove itself from the flesh. You can already see some of the skin coming off, which is really cool. We're gonna pick it up, okay? And now you can already see how the skin's just coming off, and it's really that easy. Just peel it off. Isn't that great? It's that simple, literally. That's the magic of food science, right? To remove the seeds, you can just kind of cut it in half. And I usually go into quarters. So we'll go like this and like this. And then what you do is almost like you're filleting like a fish. You kind of come in with your paring knife and remove the seeds. And you can just kind of scrape the rest of them out. Great, I'm gonna do it with the rest. Now I have all my 4 tomato petals here, and I'm just going to chop them up. You can go really, really petite with them. You can keep it kind of rough chopped, whatever you like. All right, see, here we go. We have some peeled, seeded, and diced tomatoes. So once you've peeled and seeded all your tomatoes, you can kind of put them in a bowl like this, chop them up, and then you can make your fresh gazpacho. And I'm not gonna focus on the recipe itself here. You can find those online. There's a lot of great ones on allrecipes.com. But really, it's just kind of what you have fresh in the farmer's market or fresh in your own garden or what you can find in the grocery store. So the first thing you're gonna need is a food processor or a blender. Both work well. I don't really have a great big enough blender for this, so we're gonna use a food processor. But any kind of blending equipment will work. Some people throw all their ingredients in the blender and just whiz it up. Some people put it in stages. But really, that depends on what kind of texture you want. You can have a chunky gazpacho where you're really seeing all the different ingredients inside, or you can have a really smooth one that's perfect for drinking. Both are great, both are kind of classic, just do what you like. For me, I don't really want to have a chunky cold soup, so I like a smooth drink. So I puree mine all the way through. So let's start off with going for making a smoother gazpacho. So to the food processor or blender, I'm gonna add in our seeded and peeled tomatoes. And after the tomatoes, we're gonna add in some cucumber. And what's important to note about this is that these are English cucumbers, which have a really, really thin peel and barely any seeds. So they're great for gazpacho, where you don't really wanna have too much like extra fibrous things. You want it to be smooth. But if you can't find English cucumber, you can use regular cucumber. I would just then peel it and take out the seeds, just like you did with the tomatoes. So now let's add these as well. Some garlic and some olive oil, a little bit of salt and pepper. And then I'm gonna blend this up. Okay, taking the lid off. You can see how smooth it is. Now, another traditional ingredient to gazpacho is bread. You do want the bread to be like a few days old, so it's kind of stale. And some people put it in where it's still kind of hard and it softens as it's being pureed. You can also soak it in water for a little bit so it kind of gets a little bit more moist. That's what I did. Here we go with some bread. And then we're also gonna add in a little bit of red onion and some green pepper. I know those may seem odd, but trust me, when they're all together, it's gonna taste so good. Here at the end, I'm gonna add in some sherry vinegar. Adding the vinegar just really helps bring out all the great flavors from all the ingredients and really makes it tasty. And then I'm gonna put the lid back on and blend it more. All right, so our gazpacho is now done blending, and you might be really tempted to adjust the seasonings now or just kind of pour it into a bowl and eat it right away. But what's important about gazpacho is it has to chill and set and rest in the fridge for at least an hour. You don't want to have it room temperature or kind of lukewarm. You want it to be chilled, almost ice cold, because that's how you're supposed to enjoy it, and that's how it's like really, really refreshing. And all the flavors are going to meld together and really kind of bloom together in the fridge, and that will only happen if you give it the amount of time it needs to chill. Okay, I took the gazpacho out of the fridge. We had it chilled for about 2 hours, and usually I would garnish gazpacho with a little bit of some olive oil, some cayenne pepper, black pepper, and some herb. And look how cute that looks. Perfect. We have it in a bowl, a shot glass, and you can have gazpacho any way you want. Thank you for watching. I'm Matthew Francis, and if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to Allrecipes. We make a ton of great videos that you can enjoy. There's healthy summer recipes, there's great ways to use your produce from your gardens or from the farmer's market, and tons of great tips and tricks that'll help you in the kitchen. Don't forget to press the notification bell so you don't miss any of the great videos we do make, and I'll see you next time.